Okay, so starting out on PC Builder, I'm going to start by using one of the resources they have, which is it teaches you how to build a PC and teaches you about the parts of a PC, so that once I start fixing other people's PCs, I will know where all of the parts are and be able to do what they're asking me to. So it says first that we need to remove the side panels. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Then there's the back side panel. Okay. We'll install the power supply unit. Okay, so let's go ahead and remove this so that we can fit the power supply panel in there. Unscrew these, and there we go. Okay, now over here I assume is our inventory. See, this is where I can start learning about all the parts. Let's read a little bit. So the fan, I assume, yeah, it's keeping the heat away from this part so it doesn't overheat. Over here it shows the ports that allow you to plug things into it so that I can then bring power to the rest of the PC. And then over here, let's see, where's this pointing to? Right here. This is the main power supply, so it comes from the wall socket so that I can actually get that power into the PC and then transport it everywhere else. So I'm going to go ahead and install this. This goes right here. It's showing me I can go ahead and screw those back in. And now that's done. Now we can install the motherboards. Let's go back to our inventory. That's this right here. This has lots of parts. There's power supplies, ports, lots of things. The motherboard it does lots of things. It's like it kind of holds everything together, I guess, in a way. So let's go ahead and install that. There's lots of things that connect to this, so we'll need to have that as our base. Screw in these. Okay, and then screw that onto the actual PC case, like so. Okay, now we need to start plugging it in and connecting it to everything. See, it connects to the power supply. And now we need central processing unit, CPU. Let's go back to our inventory. That's this little chip right here. So it's got a heat plate, which attaches directly to the processor and gets the heat away and keeps it cool and keeps it from overheating. The processor is the chip that does all of the calculations for the computer. It's delicate and tightly packed, so it gets hot quickly, which is what the heat plate is then for. Pins, let's see, I think these are on this side, yep. These plug into the socket on the motherboard, and each CPU model has its own pin layout and original orientation in the socket. Let's go ahead and install that. We gotta open up the case and install. Now we can close that. Now we need thermal paste because, like I said, this gets very hot. Now we can install the CPU cooler, which is another thing used to keep the CPU cooled down and helps it not overheat. So it's got brackets that help attach to the PC. It's got cooler plates. The cooler plates make contact with the CPU and is made from a highly heat conductive material, so it keeps it cool. Oh, oops. So we got a fan that moves all the hot air away. Power, this is where we plug in this fan so that actually keeps it cool like it's supposed to. Oh, here are the little fins. Where's the fins? Give a large surface area for the CPU to cool down. So let's go ahead and install that. Now I need to plug it in. Now we need a graphics processing unit. Let's go ahead, and it looks very similar to the motherboard on this side, but then if you flip it over here, you can see a fan that helps keep it cool. There's the processor, I believe that's on this side, yeah. Which at the heart of the GPU is the graphics processor, and it turns instructions from the CPU into something you can see on your screen. This allows for multiple cards to be linked, so this little area right here. So you can have more than one graphics card. This is the PCI connector, which PCI slots of the motherboard, and most motherboards have a dedicated PCI slot just for the GPU. So let's go ahead and install this. In order to install, we have to remove this so we can fit this in there and screw it back in. Okay, the next we need to install some RAM, which is memory chip. There's a bunch of different kinds of memory. There's faster ones, slower ones, one with more space. Just depends on what you buy, obviously. This is what holds it in place, and this is what connects it to the motherboard. Let's go ahead and install it by opening up these little clips, just like this. We can go ahead and install this hard disk drive, which stores all the data for the operating system. These are music and videos and pictures and all that kind of stuff. So this is the spinning disk that spins a bit like a DVD. The faster the disk spins, the faster the data can be accessed. Some server drives spin at over 15,000 RPM, which is very fast. There are some connectors over here that connect it to the motherboard and power supply. Let's go ahead and install it by opening this drive and closing it back up. Now we need to come back here and plug it in like this. Additional cooling to help keep the PC nice and cooled down. So it's just pretty much a simple fan with a motor and some fins to help move the warm air away and bring the cold air in. Screw this in like this. And now we just need to put the case back on to help protect all the insides and keep it all hidden. So now we need to plug it in so that we can turn it on and make sure everything is working properly. And turn it on. Now that is how you build a PC, and the PC building simulator does a very good job of teaching us how to do that. If you would like to see me do fix other PCs, other customers' PCs, go over to my playlist on YouTube and you can watch those.